It's John Company, second edition, designed by Cole Wehrle. I actually own the first edition to this game. This just came in the mail. People are receiving their copies. Seen some grumbling online about the wording of the rules and how sort of hard to parse the game rules are. The first edition was also a difficult game to understand. There's a lot in this game that's really interesting. It's about the British East India Company, and each player plays a family who's trying to hire their members of their family into the company to keep the company afloat. Right up until the point that it's time to shiv everyone at the table and bankrupt the company and set up their family members for a great retirement for victory points. Now, there are some changes to the rules in this second edition, but I thought we'd open this up. You can see that it's overflowing. It looks like the cardboard punching probably will lower the box lid back down. It did come with some sleeves, which is nice. I don't remember if this is an add-on that I added, but these are for all the cards. So let's get this open and take a look at what's in John Company second edition. So a lot of wood, first of all, big bag of wood. Looks like player marker colors, factories perhaps, pawns, some plus 20, maybe points markers or money markers. Pawns, I think these might be for the different offices. That looks like it might be for the president of the company. You're going to be electing or choosing different people in your family to be in different positions in the company, and you're going to try and work together with other players to send them to India to become governors, military leaders, and so forth to make money in India. So we got a bag of wood there. We got another big bag of wood actually, a bunch of chips. These are the different family tokens actually, which is pretty cool. I like the way they screen printed people's faces on these. So in 5 colors. You can see some of the period artwork. I think they did a great job. In the first edition, these were just cubes. So there's a little bit more personality for this, which is nice. We got these, which are these like stackable, I'm not even sure what these are. These might be the province, like the Indian province markers for like control potentially. I'm not sure. They're really nice though. They're in that sort of, they're like a plastic-y and they stack, looks like. I saw it in a video. There's some baggies for things. There's an insert in the box for things like the cards. So here you can see it will be nice to, it looks like they put that in maybe backwards. Looks like it should have gone like this when they put it in the box. No. Interesting. So some inserts for the cards. And then we've got a bunch of components in here with a nice tray. Let's get this out of here. Looks like, feels like the board's on the bottom. Oh, wow, it's a lot of cardboard. Yeah, okay. Whoa. All right, so this tray is going to keep all the rest of the components. It's got a nice lid, kind of Worthington game style, which is pretty nice. So we've got, here we've got these cards. These are, I believe, the event cards. They're circular, which is neat. Bombay, I believe, or these potentially might be the different presidencies in India. We have got a deck of, these might be the event cards. Here are the headline cards. Oh, this is deregulation, so this is like a status card. I'll open these up and show you what's in there. I haven't played the first edition in a long time, but I do remember it somewhat. We have some dice, and we have a big custom die here. This one might be for uprisings, rebellions maybe. Not sure. This one's also a different color. No, they're all the same color. So it looks like 10 dice plus this custom die. That's nice. And then we've got these little metal flags, which I think are really cool. These are going to indicate, I believe, presidencies, potentially. Metal flags. We've got a lot of bits in here. Here's the elephant. This is going to represent where event cards happen. So this elephant will move around the board in India. We have got some beads. These will probably track different things in the game. We've got some dial bearings, so there's probably some dials to put together. Here we have, these might be the event cards. So there's different starting eras. So you can start in 1700s, 1800s, and that will affect kind of like how the company evolves as you go. So these look like they might be the events. And then here we've got more. Here's a invested workshop. I believe there's some bonuses. Here's, this might be the solo cards. We'll find out. So another insert there. Then we have got a suggested tray organization. That's really nice. A letter from the designers, how to teach the game. This is not an easy game to teach. This is one of those games, even when you read the rules, that at least first edition, I had to play 2 or 3 times to really understand the implications of everything that was going on in the game, and what decisions you make and how that can set you up for failure or success later. Let's take a look at this big pile of stuff. So we have got events in India. This looks like it tells you about the different events that can happen. and how to move the elephant potentially. Here's the operation of the company. This tells you all the roles that you have in the company. So again, player characters or player family members will be assuming these roles, and they have special powers that they can do and special responsibilities that they get, which is kind of cool. So there's looks like 2 of those player aids. The Crown Handbook, this is for the solo mode. Ricky Royal has done some awesome solo videos on this. He's the one who designed the solo mode. Basically, this is just a reference book to show you how to play solo. Probably won't be using that because I don't play a lot of solo games. Here are the rules. So done in a much different style, much more of a Cole Wehrle style as you would find in maybe PAX Premier 2nd Edition, Root. Yeah, so it's like a single column, 1 page. I really like the art. Talks about the different concepts, hiring. I'll have to read this and see how confusing it actually is. Here's some of the art, which is pretty cool. There's a lot of advanced stuff in this game that you probably won't get to in your first game. So like deregulation, the company can become deregulated. That gives players more sort of flexibility with how they invest the money in the company. Playing with 1 or 2 players. So all told, it's a 46-page rule book. This talks about the solo rules here. So it's actually a 45-page, 42 pages if we're talking about the normal game with 3 to 6 players. Playing with 1 or 2 is special. So there's a lot here to take in. It is a complex game. It's probably Cole Wehrle's least accessible game of all the stuff that he's done. And so just keep that in mind as you're looking at this. Here's the board. We'll look at that in a second. Here are, oh wow, there's a lot of cardboard. Okay, so here are the coins, the money tokens. It looks like there are player boards, so everyone's going to get one of these. So the Hastings family, for example, tells you what you start with. Some reminders on the back if you start your own firm under deregulation, so you don't have to work for the India company anymore, I believe, or maybe not. Anyways, so there's a bunch of player boards. There's what looks like money on here. Looks like stock valuations, maybe positions filled. What else do we got? More money, more family boards. Yeah, these are just falling falling right out. Oh, there goes the Paxton family. Oh, there's the Paxton family. Larkins family and the Benyon family. So it's a really interesting game. There's a lot of actually interesting commentary about the British East India Company and colonialism in this box. But I think it's worth playing. It's an interesting game. It's not for everyone, for sure. These just keep falling straight out. There's some new tokens here. Huh, interesting. I wonder what these are. Interesting. Not familiar with those from first edition. These are, they're ships. That's what they are. The Indefatigable. Yeah, so these are ships, and you can invest in ships as your family to help sail goods to India. There's also factories somewhere. Here's the solo player board if you're gonna play solo. Okay, here's the dial. Yeah, so the Prime Minister dial here. And these are all the positions. So, if you're the chairman, you get this in front of you. If you're leader of the opposition, you get this in front of you. If you're the superintendent of trade in China, you get this. So, yeah, pretty nice. This would be a fun game to kind of role play, get into it a little bit with like some pimped out components. All right, and the inside of the box is there. Let's take a look at the board. I'll see if I can get this open and lay it out a little bit at least. The board is mostly tracks, but the one thing that I appreciate that what they have done with this edition is they have made the map of India way more interesting and easily readable. So in first edition, you did not have a real map of India. It was done with cards and it was kind of abstract. So it was really hard to tell geographically where you were. Now you can see with the map of India here where exactly the presidencies are, how much stuff is worth. The track that goes around the bottom here, this is how you play the game. This is all the steps. So basically every turn, you're gonna start essentially at the beginning. You're gonna come down, you're gonna do all of these things in order around the board. So the sequence of play is printed right on the map. And then there's, you have army holding boxes. It's pretty abstract, the game. Here's the vacant offices. Here's the London season display, how much debt the company has. That's going to be a big part of the game, making, you know, sometimes you're going to have to go into debt in order to keep the company afloat, company standing. And then here's where you're going to get your bonus victory points over here for when your family members, I believe, retire. You buy them like a nice mansion, a nice commission straight from the company coffers, bankrupting the company and hopefully winning the game. So it's a really nice production. I'm very impressed with the artwork that they've put into this edition. It is not a game for everyone, but I highly recommend that if you get a chance to try out John Company, you do so. I would suggest playing it multiple times before you form an opinion on it, because it is a fairly complex and novel game. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot of decisions you can make early that can end up screwing everyone at the table if not everyone understands what's going on. Anyways, quick unboxing of John Company 2nd Edition. Hoping to get this one played with a group soonish. And not quite a war game, but definitely very historically based, and excited to have this really nice 2nd edition. Forgot to show you some of the cards, so let's take a look at that real quick. Here's some spouse cards. Don't know exactly what these do, but they're pretty interesting. They give you some specific effects. We've got the position cards. These remind you, so if you're the manager of shipping, for example, you'll get this card in front of you. It'll show you what you can do, and then on the back, it tells you, so you'll probably put these near the board like this. You'll see the chairman chooses the master of shipping from all of the potential writers, which are going to be members of your family in the writers pool. And when you get this, you'll flip it over. It tells you all the things you can do, the special powers you get, director of trade, the chairman. Here are some nice setup cards that show you which scenario, based at 1710, 1758, or 1813, based on what year it is, how you set it up, which is pretty nice. Nice touch there. These are company failure cards. They've got stuff on the other side that sort of adjust victory points and do other things at the end of the game. Then we've got some of the event cards here that are historically based: Calico Acts, Envoy to China, Army Spending, Ship Subsidies, Trade Regulation. These do different things. They've got icons here that do other sorts of things. And then we've got some other player aid cards. Here's your Pocket Guide to India, Steps of Region Loss. What's funny is that if you're the commander of an army in India, you can have your name tarnished if you fail a battle, and someone else can step in and get the rewards you would have get potentially if you die in battle. Commander actions, this sort of a reference for when you do a fight in India. And then this is just a status card showing that the deregulation rules are in effect or not, and it tells you what deregulation means. So that's some of the cards. Let me open some of the other decks. Here's some of the other small cards. We've got the shipyards and luxuries. So each of these shipyards is unique, has a specific ship. There's the Obra Dinn, for example. We've got these family strategy cards and promissory notes that do certain things. I don't remember these from 1st edition. These might be new. These are setup cards that generate the setup for each of the scenarios, it looks like. There's 18 for each scenario, you can see here, and they specify different things. And then we've got sort of things like workshops and other commodities and stuff like that. So there's the small cards, there's the big cards. Everything goes in here, nicely organized.